Hello everyone, this is a quick tutorial for Linux beginners on how to set up our drawing tablet. I found a solution scattered throughout online forums. This is the method I used and recommend. If you find a better one, please comment it below so everyone can benefit. We'll use OpenTabletDriver. You can check if your tablet is compatible at OpenTabletDriver.net. But even if your tablet isn't on the list, you should still try, because many Chinese companies have identical tablets but under different branding. If this tutorial doesn't work for you, try the Digimend driver, but keep in mind it works completely different, and in that case this video might not help you. I'm running Linux Mint 22.1. Be sure to check your own distro equivalent commands. This video will be divided in sections for convenience. We'll go to OpenTabletDriver.net. Click Installation Guide under the Linux logo. On the left, we can select our distribution. I'll teach you how to install in Ubuntu Debian systems using the .dev file. We download the file and open the terminal. We write sudo apt update. Enter our password. Then we write sudo apt upgrade. Then we write sudo apt install. And we need to write a specific directory where the file was stored, or we can just drag and drop inside the terminal window. We wait for installation. Linux provides a packed-in Wacom driver. To be sure there are no conflicts, we must disable it. For this, we write on terminal rmmod Wacom. In my case, it wasn't running. I don't recommend deleting the Wacom driver from the system, as drivers are a very delicate part of it. Instead, just disabling it will suffice. Now we can test if our tablet works with OpenTabletDriver. We write otd-daemon. If that doesn't work, try /bin/otd-daemon. Please take note of the command you use and that it works. We need it later. Then we can launch OpenTabletDriver. After testing, we can close the window. What we just did was for testing purposes. If you run the OTD daemon from the terminal, you won't be able to close it, since that would stop its process. I'll show you a more convenient way to run it. In this next step, we'll go to the Startup Applications configuration. This changes depending on the distro and desktop environment. I'll show you how it looks like in my Cinnamon desktop, so don't be scared if it doesn't look the same. First one, we'll name it on the title as Disable Wacom Driver. Then on the command write rmmod Wacom. Then we'll create a second one called OTD daemon, and on the command section write otd-daemon. Now, if your tablet is always connected to the PC, we'll add a third launcher to make it functional at the startup. Click on Add, choose Applications, then look for OpenTabletDriver. If you can add a specific application, we add the command manually, as we did with the other two. Just name it OpenTabletDriver and write otd-GUI on the command section. You can run the commands we just created or restart your computer. Your tablet and pen pressure should work now. We are going to configure the tablet. If you are experiencing more complex issues, please go to the last section of the video. It seems that only artist mode works correctly on Linux, so we'll choose that. If you have a non-display tablet, I strongly recommend you to right-click on the tablet rectangle and lock aspect ratio. What this will do is make our tablet the same proportion as our screen. This will improve precision and drawing experience. Next, to configure the buttons in your pen, we'll go to the Pen Settings tab. Here we can select the pen binding 1 for the lower button and pen binding 2 for the upper one. Click the three dots. On typeset, choose whichever mode you want. I recommend you to use Linux Artist mode and set up as pen button 1 or 2, and we can later configure the exact behavior on the painting software itself. This will grant more flexibility across different software, so you don't have to reconfigure constantly. If your tablet has shortcut buttons, we configure them in the Auxiliary Settings tab. It works the same as the pen buttons. Additionally, there are many community-created plugins to add functionalities to the driver if you need it. Finally, here's a few issues I ran into and how to fix them. To adjust the pressure curve, you can do it inside each software, same as the pen button functions. A less ideal solution is to change it directly on the driver with the Slimy Scilab plugin. You might have calibration issues. In my Huion Kamvas, the cursor didn't line up correctly. To calibrate the tablet, you have three solutions. Number one is to use a calibrator plugin like Tablet Calibration or Better Calibrator inside OpenTabletDriver. Number two is to use Xinput Calibrator program. The last one is the most extreme method and the one I use because I didn't know the previous two at the time. We need to open the terminal and write Xinput. This will give us a list of our input devices, like keyboard, mouse, buttons, and such. We need to look in the virtual core pointer section. Find the one named OpenTabletDriver. We see that in my case is the item number 16. Keep note of it. Then we write xrandor. This will tell us the displays and how they are connected to the PC. In my case, my display tablet is connected through HDMI and my other monitor through DisplayPort. We can see the tablet number is HDMI-0. Keep note, we write xinput map dash to dash output. Then we write our cursor ID, in my case 16, then the display ID, that in my case is HDMI-0. In my case, I tried to set up this calibration command as a startup, but it rarely works, so I created a launcher on my desktop to run it. If everything works well for you, you might see that the next day the pen doesn't work anymore. Sometimes, when you're starting the computer, everything appears to work fine, but the pen doesn't move the cursor. After rebooting, it works perfectly. As you see, sometimes apps and commands don't launch correctly on a startup. A possible solution is to add a delay to the command. I recommend to do it in 1 second increments from Wacom to OTD Daemon to OTD GUI. We can restart the computer and check if it works. If that doesn't work, we must manually stop the driver and relaunch it. We close the window, then we stop the OTD Daemon from the system monitor. Now we can go to the startup configuration and run the commands again. If you happen to run into some more complex issues, try joining their Discord server and asking for help there. The community is very responsive and supportive. The invitation is in the website. I hope this video helped you. If you have any questions or would like to see more tutorials, please leave your comments below. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.